to popular belief, males are actually they're the victims of a large percentage of domestic abuse, domestic violence. If there were 50 of us in this room tonight that had all been victims of domestic violence, 20 of those would be men. That's a pretty big percentage. That's over 40% of domestic violence victims that are men. This is pretty surprising probably to most of us, which is why when I saw Maroon 5's music video, Misery, I was kind of taken off guard because I'd heard the song. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the song Misery. It's upbeat, even though the message isn't necessarily very uplifting. It's a very catchy song that's very likable. But when I watched the music video, personally, I was really appalled. It took me off guard, and I thought it was really depressing, and I did not really enjoy the video at all. For those of you that haven't seen the video, the music video is basically this couple who is involved in this passionate romantic scene, but all throughout the video, the female is violently abusing the male. This happens throughout the entire music video. So I found this really peculiar and decided that I wanted to see what was really going on in this video. So I used generative criticism, which basically just means that you don't watch the music video with a research question in mind. You go and watch the music video and let it tell you what it has to say. So that's what I did, and then also looked at it through the lens of feminist criticism, which makes sense because I was looking at gender roles and what was really going on in this video. So what I found is that Misery, the music video, seeks to, this is going to sound confusing, but I'll explain it. It seeks to absolve male blame for objectifying the female. So basically saying that the video seeks to portray that men are the way that they are because they're just men. That's how they are. They have no blame. They're absolved of blame for making females objects. And the three ways that I found, there are a lot of details, but the general principles that I found was it seeks to do this by portraying the male as an innocent martyr, the female as a cat-like villain character, and then the relationship as just an unavoidable, destructive, kind of a monster is how it portrays it. And so just a couple examples, I won't get into all of it, a couple examples, though, that I found were near the beginning of the video, during one of the passionate make-out scenes, you see the male lying on the ground, and he's sprawled out in the shape of a cross. It's really obvious that that's how he's being portrayed. So I made the correlation to that upon watching it and thinking about it, too. They're kind of portraying him as kind of a Christ-like character, that he was, Jesus was completely innocent, so was this male completely innocent and had no blame. Also things like how you would see, he just kind of seemed to have no control over his passions, he just couldn't help. He didn't really want to be in the relationship always, but he couldn't really help it. So there were a lot of examples that showed that. The second way that I found that they were trying to absolve the male blame was by portraying the female as the cat-like villain. And one of the really obvious ways that we see that was her makeup. The girl in the video, she has cat-like eye makeup, which when you think of animals, you think animals can't really control their tendencies. But when you think of cats, typically, cats are more sly and scheming, and so I kind of made that correlation with they're kind of trying to give her that image. But also the rest of her makeup was really pale, which I was comparing it to other movies in Hollywood, specifically in Chronicles of Narnia, the portrayal of the White Witch, how she's portrayed as being really pale and yet beautiful. So there are a lot of things like this that I found. There was one point in the video where she tries to kind of be helpful to the male, but then immediately turns back to being abusive. And so that was the image that I got from the woman, was that even when women appear to be helpful, they really are just animals. They're just really villains. And then the final point was the relationship as an unavoidable, destructive monster. And basically, throughout the video, you see a progression of the relationship. Starts out, the guy's kind of a little bit annoyed by the abuse, but by the end, he wants out and can't get out. And he's just, at the beginning, he seems kind of invincible. But near the end, you start to see that the abuse is having effects on him. And when she leaves at the end of the relationship, she just walks, he's laying on the ground, and she just walks away unscathed. None of her friends were hurt in the video, but by the end, he's laying there completely just defeated, and there were different points in the video where his friends would be hurt by her violent attempts. So that's what I found, is that Misery seeks to absolve male blame for objectifying the female. And so I think it's kind of trying to go against maybe what we commonly think of and gives us this message in maybe a more of a hidden way. But if you watch the video again, see if you can pick up on some of these subtleties of what is actually hidden in the video. That's what I found.